Hello and welcome back finally to Shogun 2 Total War. It's been quite a while since we have progressed through this series. We're only on part 7, but we've made massive progress. We are currently in a position whereby we've beaten back the Imagawa to a single province, secured peace with them, and rather than vassalize them and thereby suck up their vassal of the Tokugawa for ourselves as well, we've just gone for a standard peace, and that is because that would have triggered realm divide instantly, and that peace would not have lasted. Not only that, but so we're not ready for realm divide whatsoever. The Hojo also declared war on us previously, and they only have these armies here to our knowledge, but they also only have Sagami and Izu. Should be a fairly easy takeover on our part, certainly, but once again, we are on the verge of realm divide, and I'm not ready for that whatsoever. I want at least one more army to support Kenshin down here. I want to remodel this army a little bit so that we have perhaps some bow warrior monks instead of these bow ashigaru, and I want to replace these yari ashigaru with actual warrior monks themselves, and probably even these yari samurai, because they'll outperform those by quite a bit. Might even think about replacing these light cavalry with some more Yari cavalry, just because they are that much better, and I like to use them more aggressively. Just gives us much more aggressive options there. We are producing more katana samurai out of Kai with that in mind then, because we want a second army over here to support us there. Whether it's got a general or not, that's not going to be much of a bother. We are bringing in some Uesugi warrior monks down here as well, and they'll be very good indeed. We're not very well, our infrastructure, military infrastructure is not great to provide warrior monks in this area whatsoever. The idea behind that is that really everything else, all the way down to Kosuke and Kai, is much more oriented for producing money. So that's what we've built it up for. But Kai, of course, really specialises in the cavalry. And with Sagami having a blacksmith, I think we'll produce more warrior monks from there later on. But really, what we're going to do today is defend from the Hojo and start thinking about producing much more military ourselves. Our income's not too bad. But I think for this turn at least, we're going to bump up the taxes so that we do get a big burst of income on the next turn, so that we can produce far more for ourselves there. We're going to produce more warrior monks, I think, for this army. We want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units replaced here. I think we get 1 unit of bow warrior monks. Not so worried about the Uesugi marathon monks, although they might not be bad to refresh our warrior monks, because that's really their role. I think really our standards are just that much cheaper and much easier to access. So fill that up. That's 4, 5. I might want a couple more units of Yari cavalry here as well. 4 units of cavalry is excellent. So you're going to be very picky and make that from Kai. Just expend our money here then. Might as well just add more to the queue there. Do we have anything in the queue at Cargo, which does, of course, have another armory there? We do have some more warrior monks there as well, because the problem with realm divide is, of course, we're going to have to think about defending everywhere at once. And with the Hatakeyama, with 1.5 stacks in Noto, we're going to want something to defend this area, as well as the Sakai in Echizen as well. And the problem with that, of course, is we also have the Satake over here in Fukushima, which could very much threaten Echigo. So we're going to need at least one army, 1.5 maybe over here in Echu and Kaga. So we're going to want to spend a few turns defending against that. So let's see what the Hojo do at the end of the turn. We're going for horse mastery at the technology. And we'll just double check our... we could try and go for a trade agreement here and say it's satisfactory. So we'll go for that. Let's boost it a tiny bit. And yes, pile in the money and see how the Hojo work over the end turn. So really they just blockaded the port of Shimizu over here, and we're going to have mounting unrest because of our taxes. We'll just bring that down. We could stay on high for now, but I want to bring that down just to make sure our happiness recovers for now. That's absolutely not a problem. The blockader port has taken away a good deal of our trade. Can we recruit behind that? We can. I want to recruit 4 Boka buyers over here. We're going to want to produce loads and loads and loads of ships over here anyway, because once Realm Divide triggers, we've got at least the Tokugawa Armada over here to deal with, and that's just going to be annoying. How are we doing over here? We have largely replenished. What I want to do is set up an ambush over here to protect our bridge and our access to Kai here, because we've lost sight, I think, of a Hojo army, and I want to make sure that doesn't pop up anywhere nasty. What I could do is try and get some experience on these ninjas. Which one needs? Come on, which one needs the most experience? This one does. Do have a Meske in here. Can we assassinate that? It's not the greatest, really, for us, is it? Still try and sabotage the army with this one here, and that has worked. So what we can do over here is just get some experience by sabotaging a building. Let's go for the sword school, and that has worked, which is great stuff. The Meske over here could probably look at dealing with enemy agents. I forgot we actually have this army over here. That's excellent. So that can come down to support us here. But I think for now, what I want to do is maybe bring it to Kai. Because we're not going to attack the Hojo now that we've changed our minds, which is great. So we do have another army supporting us, but it's just Yari Ashigara, really. We need to modernise that once again, don't we? Really want to modernise that. Do have some more katanas recruiting here. Let's get another unit of those up. And what we can do is make sure we've got another unit of these, just to double check that. And how are we working over here? So, where do those warrior monks go? Let's pull these out and bring these in here. So, lovely stuff. Bring one more unit there. Cool. And make sure we're recruiting as many warrior monks as possible here for our Yari Ashigara army supporting down towards Kai. That's excellent stuff. Let's get these moving. Over here. And any leftover Yari Ashigara and such can fill in garrisons for castles so that we don't actually lose those. They do get to work. Just saves us a bit of time there. It's a bit more efficient. So, unless the Hojo attack us, I'll be back in a few turns. Well, actually on the end of that turn, the Hojo has decided to fall into our ambush, which is absolutely brilliant. Hopefully this doesn't provide any fame for us to trigger Realm Divide, but it's excellent to make sure we do get some experience in our units, and of course experience for Uesugi Kenshin moving forward. So let's hope this is a fairly clean ambush. They do have a lot of Katana Samurai and Yari Samurai to counter-attack with us. Well, let's start by pulling back, make sure we get people where we want them, and let's see. I'd imagine it's always a bit of a bother trying to think about where the enemy's going to concentrate their forces really with this one. But let's just pull our Yari on this long edge over here. Get our bows on a hill, of course. Lovely stuff. That should bring them forwards a tiny bit. Lovely. And Uesugi Kenshin can come forwards as well here. And he can move forwards, use stand and fight once again to boost everyone. And of course, all the katanas to flank, really, don't be right on top of the enemy. They do have some cavalry. So what I'm going to do is imagine they would come through here, really. I'm going to pull our light cavalry back over here. I don't really want them to engage too much. We have some bow or standard warrior monks over here. Let's bring them on the edges to protect that. We can bring one over here as well. Let's see how the enemy's formed. Yeah, a massive group over here. So let's just run straight on him. Yeah, not worrying so much about our Yari Ashigaru here. Let's come into their bows there. And actually, with that being said, let's rush in with our Yari cavalry over here to block that off. And we can hack down everything very nicely in a second. We'll wait for our Yari Ashigaru to engage first, I think. It gets to the flanks with everything else in a second. No, don't have the option for that, not a bother. Let's pull forwards. Come over here then with Kenshin. Get our bows firing on some katanas if possible. Get our Yari Cav over here, please. Need to bring in these warrior monks quickly, thank you. Over here. Get onto the flanks here to just rush through that Yari Ashigaru and such. Pull over here. In a minute we'll get some flaming arrows on, of course. And pull over the light cav to get into this clump when possible. How is standard fight? That's not going to affect us too much there, unfortunately. Let's pull forwards. Come on. Lovely. Let's get some burning arrows going right into the mix there. How we're doing over here. Losing a few. Light cavalry's going down. Yari cavalry's going down fine. Need to push up here, thank you. That's the general, that's okay. We can stand and fight here. That should boost everyone we need to. Lovely, let's get this katana samurai moving through. And snipe the general here where possible, I think. Lovely. How we're doing over here, might want to just pull out with our Yari cavalry and get another charge on there. It's this mess over here I'm worried about though. We are winning that. And luckily we're standing and fight against the Yari Ashigaru there. So let's protect, let's get on top of this. Yari cavalry there. Yeah, lovely. So that's rousing through. Brilliant. Let's get right into the fray here. Can we use War Shout just yet? No, we can't. That's unfortunate. Let's push over here. Yeah, we've won this flank very handily indeed. Brilliant. Losing a few too many over here though, so I think we're going to try and pull back. We've killed their general, so that should now be a mass rout where possible. That's excellent news. Still can't use War Shout, but we've all done here. That's great stuff. So it's just a case of running people down, which we certainly want to do. Let's just catch this cavalry. Brilliant. Yeah, huge clumps of samurai here. That was a very, very swift victory. We did lose a fair few men in our katana samurai, but they should be able to recover. And we're just going to run people down. There we go. So they do have a few hundred remaining there, but I think we came out of that pretty damn decent ourselves. They're only going to retreat with a couple units there, which is brilliant. So trade has been disrupted with the Sakai clan. That's unfortunate because the reason for that is because the Amako have taken all of Sakai's regions over here, and they're absolutely huge. There's this whole black region at the end of the map over here. They've now got an army over here, which is not great. We're going to want to try and get some good relations with them. They're indifferent so far. What about trade? Satisfactory there. Go for that. Thank you very much. Brilliant. So you can see our income's dipping now because of all the recruitment we've been doing. We're certainly going to want to watch out for that. How are we looking with this army over here? I think that's pretty much where we want it. Not so worried about the Yari cavalry there. Let's produce, I think, another unit of bows might not be bad there, to be honest. Then this can garrison inside. That's that area covered. How are we looking over here? I want to bring in these for Kenshin. That'd be brilliant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can take. Yeah, I think we'll take 1 unit away. Back over to here. This can go to Kenshin as well to replace the bow Ashigaru. So looking decent. This unit, I think, really can stay over here to protect Kaga. Really. We're still recruiting even more. We do have a general over here, which is good. He's very loyal, provides morale. Alright, so I think we're looking better. Certainly looking better, but we still need these warrior monks down here, don't we? So we'll take these on the next turn to provide for Masakage, I think. Yeah, and these swordsmen can come through as well. We'll take 1 unit to Kenshin and actually disband a unit of light cav. What are we recruiting through here? Just 1 more unit of Yari cavalry. We'll stop that and produce 3, 4 katana samurai should be fine over there. So we don't need to produce more there. What do we have in Kozuke? Not a lot. Right. So I think we're looking okay-ish in regards there. Just need those warrior monks to come down here. And then we can start building up a garrison in Kaga and Etchu. So we'll start building one in Etchu now while we can. And really we should upgrade the fortress as well there, shouldn't we? So let's bring this up and start producing some things in Hida. This particular ninja was going to go over to the Satake, but I think we'll have a look at Amako now. That's a real threat. Very happy we took Sado because that's propping us up in terms of income, of course. Yeah, we see some fleet from the Hatakeyama over here. How are we doing with our recruitment here? That's a medium bune and a bokabai. We can take that on now, I think. And we will fight this properly. So, we do outnumber the enemy, which is excellent. Naval battles can be fairly simple, I find, in standard Shogun 2. As long as you just spam out the bokabai, that's really all you need to do. Because the enemy never really makes really advanced ships in this game. Now, the aim was to take on the medium bune first, but it looks like they're going to focus with the bokabai here, which is great. So we can just get 4 on 1 there. It's not going to be difficult whatsoever. We're not going to use our flaming arrows on that because they'll work much better against the medium bune with its huge sides over there to take on. We are using flaming arrows against us, but they're not overly great against bokabai. We can see that they are losing men. Now, this is going to come straight through us, losing a lot of men there, which is great stuff. Hopefully that's a lot of bowmen. That's great. So I'm just going to move through us there. Interesting. I think I do want to turn around. We'll use battle speed here to help our turn. We'll chase that off. Yeah, that's rousing, but I want that to shatter, really. I'm not going to be in range of that medium bune, which is currently stationary. We'll just use fast forward here because there's not a lot else going on. It's very easy. That'll probably find its way to the edge of the map, actually. You'll find this happens a lot in naval battles as well, that the enemy just sits on the edge of the map after it starts retreating and just gets stuck there. So you can really pick things off very easily indeed. It's not difficult whatsoever. There's not a lot to learn with naval battles, at least against AI. There we go. Piss easy game. So, we actually had a mission for that anyway, so more morale for ships for a few turns, not much for bother really. We can just sit in there and repair that, absolutely fine. That's just going to free up a little bit of income for us from the trade with Imagawa there. So that's not bad at all. We have one turn into a horse mastery, which increases movement range for everyone. I want to go for perhaps reload on bows after that, or bow expertise isn't necessarily bad. I don't think we're going to get too much out of the economic ones, but also enabling square and going for experience for spirit wielding units. That does count for our Naginata monks, the experience at least. That's not bad in itself. It doesn't really lead to much else for them. In particular, I want to go for scholarship otherwise. But really, I don't think there's much other point to go for this. I have to think about that. Well, we need to go for bow expertise to get Kujutsu mastery anyway, so I think we'll go for that next. So, a couple turns have passed. We've got some recruitment done, and I think we're just about ready for the domination of the Hojo. The problem here is that I'm just trying to prepare for an immediate realm divide by sabotaging some of, or at least one of these armies here. If we go for this one, that has absolutely worked, which is great. That's a lot of Yari samurai and the enemy's daimyo and son and heir, so that's a critical army to take. They also have at least 2 armies backing them up in their further regions down here. There's also no sign of any Satake armies in Fukushima, which is excellent stuff, sorry. We've fully recruited over here to defend, at least in Echigo. We also have the remains of the Ashigara army over here in Echu. Now it looks like we've found a very interesting bit of information. If we turn the camera around, you see in these 2 navies over here, the enemy's packed up their Hatakeyama armies and put them onto some ships. Now, one thing we can do is pull over our large navy over here and try and take that on. The problem is, of course, they do have these reinforcements over here, and it's not going to be particularly easy. What we want to do is recruit some more ships, some more Bokubayas, I think, over here. We do get some good experience on these. We're going to have to take over the Hojo pretty much anyway, because our economy is not going to support much more recruitment no matter what we do. So that's going to be a bit of a bother either way. We're pretty much done recruiting over here. We have a few more slots of recruitment to do. We're just about finished there. Take one more turn for some more Katana Samurai and some more Bow Warrior Monks there. That'd be a very nice army. Infantry only, of course, but that's absolutely fine. We can see that the enemy Amako army, led by their son and heir and another general, is largely infantry, with Naginata Samurai and Yari Samurai being the bulk there. The Hojo don't really have too much defending now. They've got some field trebuchets actually. It's very interesting indeed. It's probably worth ambushing them then to make sure that doesn't happen. What we can do is get a ambush going here as well. And I think we'll take another turn actually. Never hurts, just to get some recruitment done. We are pretty much fully garrisoning Kai over here, which is great stuff. We want to bring up the garrison in Suruga as well. Nothing too great there, just want some cheap crap stacks. And we want really to create a ninja, I think, again, just to scout into the... Actually wanted to get a ninja over here, I think, to stop the Tokugawa from moving from South Shinano. That was an interesting one there that we've forgotten about. That's very interesting, actually. It's not the greatest army in there, size-wise. But still something to think about, really. So, let's move on and see how the Hojo move. Well, it appears the Hojo haven't moved. It has been a good couple turns since I last saw you. It's actually turned 51 to be very specific, and that's fairly advanced into the campaign. Just as a very quick reminder before I get into this little note, we are fairly ready for Realm Divide. We have an Ashigara army building up in Kai to defend from any particular or possible Satomi army coming through this area. Let's see if we can sabotage this army once again. It's going to take a fair bit of money, but we can try it anyway. And that is going to go through, which is great stuff. Can we get rid of this Meske in this army? That would be great. Character conversion's not the greatest chance. And it does, in fact, fail. But we don't even upgrade there. Very much on the cusp of upgrading there. leveling up. Sending out a shinobi to have a look in this direction, perhaps, but I think really we might want to send that over to the Satomi once again, or even over to the Tokugawa, who have taken South Shinano. This is why I want to stop before we trigger Realm Divide once again, because if it triggers, and when it does trigger, the Tokugawa are absolutely going to come through South Shinano and take North Shinano. We're completely open there. We do have some reinforcements in Kaga and Etsu to defend the castles there. And the Takayama over here are still looking at staying in Noto. We're thinking about embarking onto these ships over here and trotting off. That would have been too good to be true, though, wouldn't it? But the main point of concern here, and why we're not triggering Realm Divide just yet, is because we have a bit of a problem in Kozuke. Previously, I said there was no sign of the Satake in Fukushima, and this is why. They have military access with us because we are allied with them. And even though we're allied with them, that's not going to carry through Realm Divide, is it? So, to get them out of our land, what we really need to do is just end our alliance with them. We might have a hit to our daimyo's honour, but to be quite honest, at this stage of the game, it doesn't really matter. Do we have... Let's see. That's ended our trade agreement as well, actually. That's interesting. That's very interesting. That doesn't force them out. Why does that not force them out? We're still allied with this Satake. Hang on. Did I just end my trade agreement? That's why. Silly boy. We'll edit that bit out. Let's cancel our alliance then. There we go. So that does put them on our border at least. What I will do is... I think we'll still set up trade with them because look at our economy, it is taking a hit, and I would like that extra little bit of money. Unless we can get something better, no, they're the only option. It's unacceptable, probably just because really we've made that blunder there. That's absolutely not a bother. It's not the greatest amount of money there. So we're still waiting to see what the Hojo do. The Date, who are our allies, are looking at protecting us, shall we say, sensing perhaps things to come. But yeah, we're ready to defend over here if need be. What might be the case is it's probably best to send this army actually down to Kozuke for now. And that's looking pretty decent. It's a lot of warrior monks and bow warrior monks there. So that is an army we want to keep, and it's looking good. Over here, we're looking at recruiting some navy, so getting a couple more Bokubayas out there. What we're going to do is just bring this over here so they can reinforce each other because of this massive Hatakeyama navy. But I think we'll give that one more turn, see what the Hojo do, and see where this army goes in Shimotsuke. Bring this down through as well. That can actually make it to Shimotsuke. So that'll give us a good sight over there, see what we can do with those armies. See where they go. Fingers crossed they retreat further into their own territory. We do ambush 2 units from the Hojo. A simple auto-resolve is absolutely fine for that. We lost 2 men. Once again, we do ambush with Uesugi Kenshin, the Hojo daimyo, Hojo Ujimasa, with his son and heir, Dazudoji Yatsuki. Just butchered that, but will be fun. So fairly straightforward once again, just rush them down. It's a lot more light cavalry and Yari samurai in this, so they will be able to hold on that much longer. We will be taking more casualties than previously. So once again, it's just a case of deciding where we think the Hojo are going to concentrate their forces. It's always a difficult one. I think they're going to concentrate here. So let's put 3 katanas, 4 katana samurai here, I think, in a bit of a blob. We'll back them up with just a couple naginata there. And of course, we can put our bow monks on the hill in the trees here. That's absolutely fine, a bit of protection for them. And the rest of our samurai can come actually this side. Let's put them over this area. And a few warrior monks can We'll put 2 on the flanks here, just in case they load their cavalry in one area here. And the rest of the Naginata can come this area. That'd be great stuff. We'll put Kenshin in the centre here, so once again he can stand and fight. And I think all of our cavalry actually will... actually not all of our cavalry. 2 Yari can come on the edge here, and the others can come on this end. Is that everyone? It certainly is. Let's see. So we've misjudged it once again. There's got to be a pattern I'm not recognising here, but not a bother. So there's 1 or 2 bow units there, but again, all of their Yari samurais focus in this area. We want the Katana samurai really to mop through those, mow through them. So charge in there. The Katana samurai here can go like so. Just get on top of that, and I think we'll pull Kenshin back over here for now. And what have we got over here? Oh, we've got the trebuchet. I forgot about that. That's interesting. Well, we'll get on top of that very quickly just to neutralise that with our cavalry that we can pull out fairly soon. This cavalry can pull up over here to protect Kenshin, and the bows just fire generally into the Yara samurai, and these monks can pull up over here, and that should be okay. We have issued commands to just about everyone. Of course, these monks can flank in once the samurai have charged. Just get these on the flank here actually, because they'll be able to cut through quite well. Yeah, so we do see the cavalry actually coming through very quickly over this flank to threaten our bows. So pull those around, actually. And these can pretty much wall up. Lovely. Bring these around. Okay, that should be okay. Bring these cavalry forwards, bring Kenshin forwards, of course. What's going on with this massive cavalry then? We've caught a unit of light cavalry here. Can carry on to engage that. Rushing to take the hill, which is not great. Ambush has not gone as we wanted. Imagine relinquishing a hill in an ambush. Absolutely terrible plan there. What do we see out here? We see some light cavalry. We can certainly run that down with our Yara cavalry who's dead with the trebuchet. Fine, let's just brace for an impact there. Get in on the flanks over here. Push up with these. Make sure our bows are firing into this massive blob now. We see a downhill charge from some cavalry. It's not ideal for us there. Let's push up then. We really need to go quickly. Do a massive charge into the flank of the Yara samurai here. We can pull straight back out. We've dealt with the bows over here with the Katana samurai, so they can just move straight in. That should really free up this unit of warrior monks. Love to see it. Love to see it. Massive morale hit there. Let's pull back out because, of course, those are Yari. Looks like they've breached through here, which is not ideal. Yeah, right into our bows, but we did actually leave a unit of standard warrior monks there, so that's great. Cool. Let's pull out here. How are we dealing with this unit? Absolutely fine. Can we flank round to take the hill? We can. We need to. Everyone's getting very tired there. Winning this against a general. Lovely. Managed to catch him. Light cavalry there. And we're pushing against light cavalry here, which is great stuff. Let's fight in there. Reform here. Katana samurai into the backs here because we've got stuck, which is not great. Need to finish up with this light cavalry as well, would be ideal. Okay, how are we doing against these cavalry units? Doing good, doing good. Excellent, we get some great shots in here. Let's get some fire in. Looks like we're probably going to lose this unit of katanas. We might have to pull out, but that might be too late. And we certainly need to push in over here. Right, what could we do with these units? We need to pull in over here, protect over here, run away. Can we micro this a bit better? Let's get onto this light cavalry and pin that down entirely. This is general. Can certainly get that down. That's our secondary general. We need to move out over here because we're getting caught by Yari once again. Did manage to catch that light cavalry over here, which is great. Can we stand and fight with Kenshin? I think we probably can. See if we can pull out with these katanas because they're going to lose. That standard fight's not quite going to cover the amount that I want, but I think we need to do it right now because now they're really charging down that hill now they've relinquished control completely. Push up over here, get that general. How we're doing here, Cersei doing very well, but our bows want to carry on in that engagement, which is rather silly. Let's keep some arrows coming into the Yara Samurai here. Have we dealt with this unit? Nearly, very nearly. We do have our war cry ready, and we've killed a general, which is great. Let's get the war cry out here because that is absolutely necessary. How we're doing over here, we do still have some Yari on our flanks. But that's a general we're catching. Can we get these over here? Looks like they've forgotten their orders. Great, so we're idling over here, which is not ideal. Let's flank there. Done here. Pull back. Kenshin's doing good. We're free over here, so let's pull out to the hill. Come over here. Get shots firing in. This is a done deal now. We just need to mop up, and that's absolutely brilliant. Dealt with the general over here pretty much. I would love to make sure this one dies. I think this is their true general. Their daimyo, but we're still being chased by these Yari samurai. What we can do... Actually, they've disappeared on that. They've completely shattered. So that is great. Everyone is now shattered. Let's run people down. Get rid of these Naginata samurai as well. Very nasty here. Run those straight down. Love to see it. Wow, so look at our losses. I would imagine that these two units of Katana Samurai will disappear. Let's see. Well, the enemy have 27 men remaining. We did not lose those two units of Katana Samurai, which is absolutely brilliant. We did lose a fair share of our men as well, but look at the experience we can get on that. That's absolutely amazing. Cut that one down. That puts us in the driving seat once again. So we now have bow expertise. We go into Kujutsu Mastery. That will take us 11 turns. Is it really worth it? On second thoughts. It's more reload rate for all bow units, but we're not particularly bow intensive, are we? I think really going for the spear expertise or even just the scholarship would help, actually. Because it's integral to the Uesugi core of their army, isn't it? Both of these. Because this experience does count towards our Naginata monks as well. This, as a building, doesn't do loads for us. If we go over here, increases the success chance of monk actions, but the building itself does still provide, of course, the same things. We get warrior nuns, but yeah, they're not the greatest. Really not the greatest. We'd probably end up ignoring them. I think we're going to go for spear expertise. So the Satake armies are over here. Which is the nastiest? That's the Yari, and that's their daimyo. Okay. Okay, so the daimyo one's certainly the scariest because it's just better. Try and sabotage that. Is it worth it? It's the same chance on here. Try it then. That could not have gone worse. Okay. Well, we'll recruit another one here. We can... Not going to garrison inside the castle, I don't think. If we ambush here, that doesn't control the bridge. That's the problem. Okay. Might have to garrison, actually. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Do have a Meske over here who could bribe this army. It's protected by another Meske though, but the bribe is a pretty good chance there. So what we're going to do is finish this episode finally by taking Sagami Province and maybe even Izu. Izu's the moneymaker. Sagami is the recruitment place. So what we're going to do is just really worried about the Satomi over here, but there's really not a lot we can do about that apart from keep sabotaging them. And that's worked on their main force. So it won't be counter-attacked this turn. Need to get rid of the Mesques as well, actually. That's failed. We could rank up there. No, not quite. Not quite. Alright. Do have a little bit of money left. Can we sabotage this army? Probably not, no. Can we sabotage any buildings? It's actually best to try on the army. Give it a go. It's really not been our game, has it? Going to increase our taxes to get the money back there. Really don't like having the Tokugawa army there. We're going to have to sort it out as soon as possible. But it's now or never. I think now is probably the best time to do so. Let's attack Sagami province with Uesugi Kenshin. Can also through that, it's absolutely fine. Let's not trigger Realm Divide just yet. Excellent. We'll replace the Siege Workshop because it's terrible. And we will take the capital over here for the gold mine. Lovely stuff. Hold your breath. And... oh, okay. Okay. There's no Realm Divide there. That's great. That's excellent. What do we want here? Night battles would be great. Just looking for... so that's a melee attack. That's not attached to anything else. Coming down here later on. Not really going to want to lose anything. Siege length's not ideal. Commander defending's not ideal. But we do want... the charge bonus would be great on the cavalry we have. But... I absolutely love having night battles because you can really force the engagements you want with that. Ideal. So we are going to cut down this army. Just unit of mangonels. Just get rid of that. It's just wasting our upkeep. But that is a very narrow escape from Realm Divide. If we look at our fame, once again we are still on the cusp of that. And actually, if we just come to the victory conditions, we do need to take Musashi over here, of course, as a victory province, as well as Kyoto. But we need to become the Shogun anyway, so we'll get everything else on the way to Kyoto. But we will need to go to war with the Satomi. And the fact that we haven't triggered Realm Divide just yet means we can fight that relatively defensively. If we draw them into ambushes once again, that's absolutely fine. And that really frees up movement for the Satake over here. But that will be it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. And this will be a good, solid continuation of the series. Once again, this is only episode 7. We've made huge gains every episode. It's barely calmed down. Been a little more strategic today, but sometimes it does just go that way. But we've made a very good foundation for the upcoming Realm Divide. But thank you for watching, guys, and I shall see you in the future. May all of your nights and days be auspicious. Goodbye.